Okay. This is the video. This was supposed to be a video. We will play the video later. Okay, what is photography? Okay, many people have very different explanation. For this one, got still got a block. Everyone clear? Physics. When you see the image, it goes into through the lens, series of lens, and here is where the image captured. Usually it's captured in reverse. Remember your basic physics reverse. This distance is what we call the focal length. I will talk about it later, but just take note of that focal length. Cameras, especially digital cameras, they have basically two range. One is what we call entry level. One is higher end or professional level. Entry level usually have a small, see this green color sensor. The sensor captured a smaller area because the sensor is small, just like a phone camera. The phone camera sensor is very tiny compared to this camera or that camera. Whereas the full frame captures the bigger view of what you see. The angle is wider, so it captures more. Understand?
What angle?
Not really wide angle. Not really wide angle. This is not on the lens. This is on the camera sensor because sensor is bigger. Basically, it is like you have a big water tank with water flowing down. The big water tank can contain more water, so this bigger sensor can contain a bigger image, wider area. Okay. Okay, this is a different range of lenses just for info. Use this as a guide. Some people use this as a guide. Portrait lenses, wedding lenses, ports, macro. Macro is for enlarging, taking insects, plants. Some of these lenses overlap can be also used for landscape or portrait or weddings. For me, my work, I usually shoot events. So events are basically weddings. Wedding is part of the event. This is one brand, but other brands also have 24. One, this is only fixed. This is the range. This is 24, 70, 70, 200. Okay. Basically, fixed lens, like this is a fixed lens. The focal length is fixed. Remember just now you went back to see this focal length. This one. This is when the image converges until the sensor on the frame. So this is the focal length. Okay, 24 means the lens is fixed. You cannot zoom. Those with a range like 14, 24, you can zoom. You can bring the image nearer to you, the subject nearer to you. Let's say you want to shoot a person, you don't have to go so near. You can bring it near. Okay, you see this lens? You see this go up and down? This one is called external zoom. I have another one, internal zoom. You don't see this moving in and out because it moves inside. You can't see. Of course, internal zoom is more expensive. Use it as a guide only. Don't get caught up with this. But just for info, these three lenses from this range 14, 24, 24, 70, 70, 200. I used to have these three lenses, and they call it the Trinity because it covers from 14 to 200 mm. That means wide angle you can shoot, and even from far you can shoot. Okay. Now I have this a new lens. The old one I trade in. I have this, and then the other two I have a combination in between. One advantage of this for me as a professional, the day in America, group photo. The others cannot. That's one thing. When you are charging people, make sure you have the right equipment. Some mirrors, glasses there. That one is just to show you what's inside, but don't have to know about this. This is interesting. This is a real camera. They cut into half. Camera and the lens cut into half. And you see the prism here? This is a prism. Prism. This are the lens elements. This is the front element. These are different lenses, elements. Here is the battery. This is a professional level camera, so the batteries are different. This was actually a cutaway real camera at the exhibition. I took a photo. Okay, this is another cutaway view. This is a camera with a built-in flash. This built-in flash, sometimes when you click, the flash will pop up. It's only good for short distance, not for long distance. Right? Sometimes it's too close, it's too direct. Normally, if it's too close, I put a piece of tissue, soften the effect. If I have, well, I don't have those camera anymore, but that's what I use. If it's too close, I put tissue or put something to deflect it. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned about focal length. See the focal length, this is a short focal length, this is longer, and this is much longer. When the short focal length is short, the angle is bigger. See, this one smaller, and then this one much smaller. Makes sense, right? So when you use a focal length, you capture the person, bigger person, but you can't see the rest of the background. What angle you can see? Okay, this is just to give an idea. Like 35mm lens, you see the whole person. 50, you see exactly the whole person. 55, you see the top. 130, you see only the head. You can't see the whole body. Unless you go very, very far. That's why sometimes when I have one lens fixed, if I just carry one camera, one lens, someone asks me to shoot, I have to go far. Wide angle. When you have 400mm, it's zoom, but you can't see so much. See this portion, these houses are somewhere here, in the middle here. When you zoom, you can see, but you can see the houses, but you can't see the hill. Okay, another perspective, another way of looking at it. One thing I just digress a bit. When you go for holiday, take photos when you're touring, those days I see people, let's say if it's an Eiffel Tower, you want to see the whole Eiffel Tower, and then you stand here, you see the whole body. But when you look at the picture, you're so tiny. Why you show the whole body? People don't show the half, remember? Sometimes I learn, and sometimes when I see photos of friends, even recently, photos, unless they ask, sometimes unless people ask, you don't comment. Even for mental consultants, image consultants, say when you see something, you don't touch, you don't talk, unless people ask for opinion. We'll take a break. Okay, we continue. These are very basic things in photography, whether you're using your camera phone or your proper camera. Sometimes when you take a picture or a photo, you look at it, you see, hey, it doesn't attract you. Then you look around, where is this person trying to tell me? What is it trying to tell me? Is it trying to show me the tree, or show me the house, or show me the person? So this is what we call the rule of third. I will cover that. Fill the frame, the right orientation, the leading lines, and then format, whether it's print or digital, what size. Because now your camera, your mobile phone size is different. Every time I take a photo with my camera, I normally edit it to 4:6 because there's a normal 4R size, or 3:4. In the forest, you see the hills, you see the trees, you see the house, you see animals or whatever. Draw those pictures that come to your mind and place them within the picture, the paper that you have. Draw it within the picture, within the paper. Draw a few things. I mean, if you draw the scene, no, the whole page, one whole page, yeah, whole page. Yeah. Whatever, you go to the beach. If you are, if you go to a park, if there's a lake there, trees there, people running, where do you place the people, where do you place the lake, where do you place the footpath, the walking track. Photo, we look at those points. Somehow the eyes were drawn to that. So those are the points where you have the main thing you want people to see. Let's say if it's a person, the eyes around that is Of course, when you look at a picture of a person, what attracts you the most? What pulls you? What attracts you? Which part of the face will, which part of the person will attract you first? Which part of the eye? The eyes, yeah. This offset, not in the middle, not like the SLR. That's why you have to do a bit of adjustment. You go near, you see differently. Sometimes when I take photo, you switch on the photo camera. You can read the lines. You have the lines, not. When you switch on the camera, you have the line, right? Grid like the rule of third. I usually use that to align. I use the middle one, the middle grid, vertical grid to align. Let's say this line here, this line here, like this line. Everyone has. Yes. So I use that guy as my guide. Otherwise, the photo will be tilted left or right. I use the center line as a guide. But of course, because of lens distortion, the quality of the lens also depending on the price also. Some lens has a lot of distortion, especially on people at the side. If you use wide angle lens, people at the side goes out of shape. So don't get too close. When you take a group shot, get further if you can. Okay. Of course, sometimes you want to take photograph of objects on the floor, on the tripod or whatever. This different application. 30-degree shot maybe for food or whatever, or product. Okay, this is, some of you may not be familiar. During my days, when print photo is 4x6. So now, because my camera format is 4x6, 4x6, and when I take a photograph, it is not 4x6, it is 4x7, but I crop it off. I actually crop it to 4x6 because I don't know, OCD. And sometimes, when you take a group photo, this is 4x6. 4x6 means this is 4, this is 6 inches. So this is 1.5 times this side, the ratio. Sometimes when you have good photo, when you have, let's say 3 rows of people, then the photo will stretch very wide. It will fit the photo, but a lot of empty space here. Empty space here or here. So one best thing is to maybe make it narrower, then you will have more depth here. Then it will even out to fit the frame. Otherwise, a lot of space. So sometimes you can't. Like the day I was in Malacca, shot a group of novice. There were 6 novice monks and 26, almost 30 novice nuns. So this group bigger than this. So very hard to balance. And end up, then become very broad. And of course, when they print, they was debating. They print 810 or 8x10 or whatever. I said, depends. They can print any size to cut, to suit. You don't want space, you can cut. But the problem is getting the right frame. If the frame is not standard, you have to tailor make, cost you more money. And sometimes frames only look so like a landscape, very long, like a big Chinese painting. So have to consider those things. Size are different with a phone, I mean. But when you take with your phone, make sure you have enough space in the top, bottom, left, and right. Because sometimes you crop, you cut off certain things.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Like the 4R, like a ratio, like the.
It's 1 to 1.5. You see 4, this is 4, here is 6. So this is let's say this is 1, this is 1.5 times. The length is 1.5 times the height.
Is it like 4 to 3, 16 to 9?
Yeah.
That kind of ratio?
16 to 9, yeah, the ratio, but different ratio. 16 to 9
different ratio?
This is the print ratio.
Print.
This is
If
print,
you
not
take
digital.
a picture, let's say 4 to 3, then
4
how do we convert to this?
4 to 3, I have to crop.
Crop?
I have to crop.
It means the phone format is set to 4 to 6.
I set as close as possible on my phone. I set as close as possible to. See, this is what I said. I think some people say longer.
Is this 4 to 3?
I think so. I can't remember what I said.
So you cannot.
Yeah, 4 to 3.
You
4 to
cannot set
3.
exactly like 6 to 4 like that.
See, I take this. I like to take this every time I do an event. I take a good photo. Smile, everybody, smile. Make sure everybody is inside. Smile, smile. You see my finger, my thumb, see how many times it moves. Okay. Anyone not see that? Someone challenged me, I see trying to take multiple times on the thumb. It's difficult, not everyone can. First, because sometimes people are able. They don't get look there. Sometimes they're not ready. Some people, when they tell them, you're ready, they're still not ready. And they look, friend, ask a friend to come. Sometimes they take back shots. And this photo, when I have it, I will crop it. I don't know why, I'll just crop it to you. 4 by 3. I will go in 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is 4 by 6. Original is this is what I call 3 by 2. You can't see. I should take it like this. At least when you take off, you will have an idea of it. Okay, before we go on, let's have it.
Okay.
Right on? You will bring it.
Have to open up and clean.
Inside.
See, this is how it is. See the line here? Then you twist a bit. And then sometimes, especially, I line up the door frame. The door, use this as a guide.
So if you want to, let's say, take the Mount Fuji, we want that thing to be here
in the middle. This is the bottom of the mountain here.
Yes.
Why you think like that? Scared, very helpful, very technical. Any problem, the phone will be the.
Just now he brought up a smartwatch, so I
Wow.
thought, wow, someone got him. No, he was at the kitchen today, and then one auntie, hey, help me install something. I got software problem. So he's like a IT support / everything. So later kitchen, later when we go for makan, later you see him with another auntie. Sure helping the auntie with her phone or some matters on.
Is to get more volunteers to pick up the skills and then volunteer to shoot at our event.
Coordinate as in like different angles or different areas or how?
Different areas, different angles. I mean, for me, if I'm the main person, normally in events, sometimes they have one principal or the other person, they call it second photographer, the second person. Because your phone all is automatic. Sometimes it's too much AI, it looks very artificial. Recently, I use my phone to take selfie because I cannot use my camera in SJB. And when I look at it on my computer, pictures closer up, oh, very artificial. My face, oh, very nice, like moon face. So, most of us photographers, when we shoot, we don't use auto, we don't use program. This is M is manual, everything is manual. I will talk about. Just now you saw the exposure triangle, I will talk about that. Auto, everything the camera will set. This is not totally AI, it's a bit of AI, but the camera will adjust the ISO, it will adjust the speed to suit. It will maintain the aperture. Aperture, I will explain later. Sorry, the shutter speed, priority, this is aperture priority. Program is something you program inside the camera. Every time you do some setting, you program that, it will stay at that program. But that's quite limited. In my camera, I can have 3 different programs. Let's say if I shoot indoor with light, outdoor, I don't need the light. I can just go outdoor and turn the setting to another setting and use outdoor shoot. When I come back here, I just turn one down. For the setting I already preset earlier, so it's different. This one is for close up, when you shoot flowers. This is for shooting scenery, mountains. This one, night view with moon. This one, animals, this one sports, people running fast. So the setting all different. Different function, different setting. Phones can do a lot of wonders, but still, in my case, in my opinion, maybe with my also with my limitation of my phone, there are still things that are different. Sometimes I got friends carrying expensive camera. I got a friend, a schoolmate. He had a watch shop, sell watches and repair shops. Watch PKS Complex, Shalam. For those who know, small outlet. He's a Chinese guy, but his name is Hassan. Watch shop because a lot of Malays, man. He's rich. He got a semi-D house somewhere next to Eon there. Never use. Just because his friend buy. Exposure triangle. When I shoot, every time I shoot, my settings are all different because it depends. This is the triangle, and this is called the exposure triangle. Basically, it's a combination of the ISO, which is the speed of the film. It means how fast the film or your sensor can absorb the light, how fast. And then the shutter speed is how fast the shutter open and close. And then the aperture is, there's a diaphragm in the camera, how much light you allow to enter. See the light there? Can see or not? This hole right there.
Cannot see. Cannot.
Then you have to move because I can't. Everybody hates different.
No, I mean you have
Yeah.
to slant a bit.
Yeah,
slant a bit.
it's more to. Yeah.
No, like that. Down a bit.
90 degrees.
90
No.
degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that can see.
Never mind, it's okay, I'm sorry.
See it becomes big and small? You see?
Oh, yeah.
Huh? You see or not?
Yeah.
This is the aperture. You can see?
Cannot see.
Why am I supposed
Ah, yes.
Huh?
okay.
Yep.
Back row there, you can see or not? You see the hole of big and small?
For what?
Huh?
Let the light in more or less.
See now, you see the hole there, the opening? See, bigger, smaller? Huh? You can see that. Huh? Okay, this is what we call the aperture. The aperture here. This portion of the camera, this component allows the amount of light to enter the film. When it's bigger, more light can enter. When you have a number, this number actually is quite confusing. Huh? When the number is big, the opening is very small. When the number is f1.4, it's bigger. F is f stop. We call it f stop. F stop. STOP. F stop. I will have a slide to explain why this is why when the number is small, the opening is bigger. Right? Just it's reverse now. So when we call big aperture, the number is small, but the opening is big. Sorry. Yeah. F1.4 So when you have a lens that's 1.4 or 2.8 with a small number, we call it a fast lens because more light can enter. So you can take dim light and special light. When you have a lens which is 32, 16 or 8, when you take night shots, difficult because very little light can enter. So the offside is when you have 1.4, the person is very sharp, but the background is blurred. See, when you have a higher, smaller aperture, the person and the background is also sharp. So that is the correlation of this. On this side, on the shutter speed, 1/4 is 1/4 of a second. This is all quarter. This 800, when this normally we call 800, let's say 800 seconds, it's 1/800. We don't, sorry? 8,000. We normally don't call 8,000, we just call 8,000 because they understood. It's always 1/8,000 of a second. That means the shutter will open and close within 1/8,000 of a second, very fast. This is for sports, okay, for sports, or when there's very strong light, daylight, for example. And the advantage is, for sports, when you use this speed, you can capture very sharp image when the person is moving. But when the shutter speed is very slow, you get blur image. Blur image. Okay, so this is aperture, this is the sharpness, which is the shutter speed, and this is the ISO, which is the speed of the sensor, or in those cases where you use film, is the film speed. Like this one. This is 400. This is 400. 400. Those days we call ASA 400. Now it's ISO 400. Now it's ISO 400. Basically, the faster the speed, the film speed, you will capture image that are moving because it's fast. The slower, you will capture. Let's say, for example, people who are standing there posing for you, you can capture, but for sports you cannot. The only offset is grain. Someone asked about grain. Grain means when you look at the picture, it's very grainy and like not very sharp. See, this is very sharp. A lot of grain, a lot of dot, very fine dots. I will show you a picture later. A sample later. So, to get the right exposure, the right composition, we talked about composition earlier, go the rule of third, that's composition. To get a picture that is perfectly exposed, is a combination of these three: aperture, ISO, and the shutter speed. And so it gets bigger. Okay, this is the ISO here, and this is the shutter speed. Of course, when you shoot someone, normally when I shoot events, I shoot about the speed of 200. Shutter speed of 200. But when I shoot someone who's moving a lot, I have to shoot higher because sometimes when they move, you see the blur hand. Depends on people also. Most of the time, when they're doing a speech, you don't expect them to move a lot. But dancing is different. Then this is the aperture. And see, these pieces, we call it leaf. These leaves, the way they design, they open up evenly. It's like a very well designed thing. Very interesting design. You can see clearly. When they open up, every leaf open up uniformly, and the hole becomes very round. Because you don't want to have a square hole opening because it will affect the picture. Because the lens is round, so this hole has to be round. You cannot have a square peg with a round hole, right? Okay. Yeah. To read lens, this is a zoom lens, 70 to 300. 70, that means the focal length is 70 to 300. And then the aperture is 2.8. One is the 2.8. Some lenses, zoom lens, the aperture can be 2.8 to 5.6. That means when you have different zoom focal length, the aperture changes. And of course, when you have fixed aperture, with a zoom lens, it costs more. And this is the diameter of the lens here. So the filter size is based on that. The cover. This is 77 mm. This is the filter size. This is the size. This is I got a filter here. Always get a filter to protect the lens, because in case of any damage, you need not anything. The filter will get scratched or damaged. It's not inside. Cost more to replace the inside. I got problems when I shoot these Challengers. Not problems. Sometimes when I carry in, I have got, especially in the chairs are very so tight. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes kids poke the finger. Some kids are so. I don't know, curious. And some parents, I won't blame the kids. I won't blame the parents, but I think they should look after the kids. Don't allow other people to look for the kids. Okay, just now someone asked me about this. The f can be capital F or small f. How do they calculate this? For example, if the lens is 50 mm, this is a very special lens. This is 28. This is a 28 mm lens. This one is 3.5 mm. It's the focal length divided by the aperture. You get 17.585. If you set it at 2.8, 50 mm lens, 2.8, this is the size of actual opening size. And if you set it at a higher aperture, bigger aperture, the opening is smaller. So this is why that can be confusing. 2.8, bigger opening. 22, small. The number is small. See this lens? This one can move. This is very interesting.
Wow.
This is shift lens. This one's specially for taking, for architecture work, taking buildings, you see?
Wow.
I can turn.
Why is it specific for architectural?
Okay, when I take a building, standing here, tall building, I have to take portrait. I can make the building, because normally when you take a building, the top is small, right? It's like a triangle. When I use this, both is perpendicular, vertical. Both also, it's not like a straight building. So this helps. And if I take a long building, usually the building is bigger at the middle, right? Then it's tapering down. This one will tapering down. No video, please. Right is high noise. On the left, no noise. It means you can never hear one. You can only see this noise. Is it great? I'll show you one. Okay. Look at this photo. Look at the rope. See this? You see, right? If it's a well taken picture, you will see all this line down. Because this was taken 2010. Anyone know this person? Maybe this picture already grading, like this something else. Now the left. Wall. This is becoming yellow, orange, and then red. So more advanced.